Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Hindustani in Japan. If you are planning to travel from India to Japan, so this video is for you. Please watch this video from beginning till end, and we will be trying to cover few things which can be helpful for you, like how to prepare while traveling from India to Japan, what are the procedures that you need to follow while in India airport, in Japan airport, and what are the rules and the regulations that you need to follow in the quarantine period. Please watch this video from beginning till end and subscribe to our channel if you have not done yet. Let me introduce you all to my friends Sheetal Bhabhi, Avyukt and Bharat Bhai. So Sheetal Bhabhi traveled from India on 13th of December. She traveled with her son Avyukt, and Bharat Bhai played a very important role. He made all the preparation in Japan so that they could have a very good stay for 14 days during the quarantine period. So let's ask some queries to them, what was their experience during this quarantine period and how she made preparations from India, and during her travel what kind of things she faced. So welcome back to Japan, and congratulations for completing the 14 days of quarantine in Japan.
Thank you.
Hello Avyukt.
Say hello.
To all.
Say hello.
So Bhabhi, please share your experience, how you started the preparation in India, how you booked your ticket, and is there any specific thing that you did in India?
When I planned to come to Japan, first I planned in during October end. First I went to the consulate, Japan consulate in Bangalore, and I submitted for the re-entry permit. At that time they were issuing the re-entry permit, so I submitted the re-entry permit. I booked my ticket from Bangalore to Haneda in Anna. So it is from Bangalore to Delhi and Delhi to Haneda.
Was there any specific reason you select the Anna flight? Because Air India also travel from Bangalore to Haneda.
Yeah. So Air India flight was from Bangalore. It was in the morning around 6:30 or 7, and I had a 9.5 hours waiting in Delhi airport.
Okay.
So with a small child, I thought it will be difficult. So I took Anna. I chose Anna because Anna had only 4.5 hours waiting in Delhi airport. So that was the reason for me to choose Anna, and Air India was coming to Narita airport, which is quite far from where we stay, and Haneda is quite close by.
Okay.
So that's why I chose Haneda.
Okay, that is also good choice that you made, because with baby and in COVID situation, sitting there for more than 6 hours is very difficult situation, right?
Yes.
So before travel, like 72 hours, there is a policy that you need to have a COVID test result and that should be negative. So what was your experience during that?
So I was traveling on 13th of December. So ideally before 72 hours I'm supposed to get a test done. I gave my sample according to the policy, and I got my result in 24 hours after my sample was collected. So in India we have two types of tests. So the rapid test and the RT-PCR. So the rapid test is not, they do not accept. So we have to get an RT-PCR test done. So an RT-PCR test, both for me and my son, we got it done. We gave the sample in the morning around 8 o'clock, and after 24 hours I got my report. And so once I got my report confirmed that it is negative, I went to the lab and I got the ICMR report which says it is negative, and I got it sealed and signed by the concerned person or the doctor. And then the Ministry of Foreign Affairs have the certain format where we have to get it signed. So even that I took it along with me, and I got it signed from the doctor there, whoever was present in the lab, and get it sealed. So once I got these two reports, before flying I had to mail these two reports to Anna, telling this is my negative report. So once that was done, then I did not have to do any other preparation for my travel. And
on the day of travel, so what was the important things that you made sure, and how was your experience on the Delhi airport?
Okay, so one thing is I traveled from Bangalore to Delhi and Delhi to Haneda. So my Bangalore flight was around 11:30 in the morning. So I had to call Vistara and check what was the minimum time of check-in required, because I had a kid. So they told minimum of 2 hours before you have to do a check-in in Bangalore airport. So I reached Bangalore airport by around 8 o'clock. So I made sure I wanted to be sure that I don't have any other delays. So when we enter the Bangalore airport, there's a lot of queue because they are checking, they are not having any direct contact. So it takes time for them to scan your passport.
Okay.
And you have to, after doing the web check-in, you get the boarding pass in your mail. So it's always better if you have the QR code of that. It makes time easier, the process easier in Bangalore airport. So I did the web check in 24 hours before I fly, and I got the boarding pass QR scan. We have to submit our ICMR reports, and along with our MOFA format, and with I had a resident card of Japan. I had to show that. So my Bangalore to Delhi flight, we had taken middle and aisle seat, and we had to wear a PP. Whoever is sitting in the middle seat, we had to wear a PPE kit. So, but that was a smooth process. We did not have much issue. But in Bangalore to Delhi flight, since it was an afternoon flight, the food was given was very less. It was just a sandwich. And since I had checked in very early, my son was feeling hungry. And by the time I reached Delhi airport, it was around 2:45. And my next flight was around 6:45, so from Delhi to Haneda. So in this process, in between these 4.5 hours, there's a lot of things which has to be done. One thing is, before we go to the international transfer, we have to go to ANA counter. It is there near the international transfer, and we have to get our documents verified. And whatever boarding pass I got in Bangalore, it has to be exchanged in ANA counter. So that took almost an hour for me. Even though there were just 4 people before me, each person they take around 15 minutes. So make sure you have sufficient time, at least minimum of 4 hours for your transit duration in Delhi airport. And after the documents are verified, I got my boarding pass, and then I moved to the security check again, and immigration was in Delhi. My luggage was a through check-in from Bangalore to Delhi, so I did not have to remove my luggage. But one thing was, in Delhi airport, when they were checking in counters, there was no place to sit. So if your child is very small, it will be very difficult for you to handle the kids standing in the queue. But I just made my luggage keep in one corner, and I asked my son to sit down because it was not possible for me to carry him, and he was getting very tired. So that is something which you can think what you have to do if you have a small kid.
There is no sitting space. So please check with your airline also if they allow you to take the pram with you, because with the small infants and small kids, it's better that you have a pram. It will be easy for you to travel in that situation and handle your kids.
And once the security check is done, I just had almost 1.5 hour only left for my boarding. And there was nothing open in Delhi airport. There was no restaurant, only one snacks bar, a small sandwich shop, and a coffee shop was open.
You mentioned that they are giving very less food during the travel. So are they allowing us that we can carry food from our house? Because with small kids, it's important that you have a sufficient food also.
When I checked with my airlines Vistara, they said it's okay, but it's always better to confirm with your airlines whichever you're traveling, because each airlines have their own rule and depends on which city you're traveling from.
Okay.
So from Bangalore to Delhi, they said it's okay, if you want you can carry. And one more thing I would like to mention, they will not be giving you carts in the Delhi airport. So whatever luggage you have to carry it in your hand.
Okay.
So you will not be having any trolleys or any carts where you can put your luggage and move around.
Okay.
So before an hour of boarding, in ANA they make groups in boarding, group 1, 2, 3, 4. So with kids it's a separate group, and others are in groups, so they board according to the groups. And they give you a face shield and a mask which you have to wear compulsory. For the kid, it is compulsory, but it was not so strict for him because they are kids, they don't allow. But mask was compulsory for everyone.
So how was your experience during the flight and you were traveling with the kids? So how was your experience?
So from after boarding in ANA, so they were helping us to put our luggage because I'm having a small kid, and all the flight attendants were wearing a PP kit. So they were all fully properly dressed and according to the protocol. But there was no social distancing inside the flights. All the seats were fully occupied. This flight was completely full. So my seat was the middle and the window seat. Because of the kid, I preferred window seat. And they gave a sanitizer bottle as well, along with your face mask and face shield. So I just sanitized the screens and all, so that because my son will be touching everything. And then after that, the flight took off on time. And but the food was given very late. It was around 10 o'clock. The total duration of the flight was around 7.5 hours. So after 4 to 4.5 hours of takeoff, we got our dinner. My son was very hungry because it was quite late, and then they gave us the dinner. Before giving us the dinner, they gave us the questionnaires which has to be filled and submitted in immigration in Japan. So they gave us the questionnaire. They gave us a lot of papers to read, where we have to do what. So all that was given, and after dinner, I think around by 11:30, we finished our dinner, and the lights were all off, and by around 1:30 the captain announced that we'll be landing according to the Indian time. So it was around 5 o'clock, 4:30 in Japan, I guess. So we landed around by 5:15 in Japan, and initially they told we'll be deboarding row by row. So we all were asked to just sit down, not move around, and not remove our luggages. So first they were deboarding like 2 rows, 3 rows at a time. So when my turn came, I removed my luggage and I just deboarded, and we were after deboarding we were asked to follow in a queue, and first I had to get they had given the questionnaire. I had to submit the questionnaire, and they gave me a health card. Then I had to go, and there is one more place where all of us are questioned. Where are we getting quarantined, and do I have a line app, or they want me to call every day, or what is I mean, they had given options. Though I did not understand much, I did have a line account, so I told them I'll report via line, and they said okay, and they gave me a paper where there's a QR code. I had to scan it for the line application, the process further. So they told me to do that later, and I was guided ahead for the saliva test. And it was very fast process. There was not much queue. So I went to the test, and they gave me 2 tubes for me and my son. Though I told them that my son might not agree, they told try, and if he's agreeing for saliva test, it's good. Otherwise, we'll take a swab. And there are small cubicles where you have to go, and they'll give you a small funnel where you have to spit in the saliva, and there'll be a mark in the tube. Up to that mark, you have to spit the saliva. So I did it, but my son refused. So I went and told the lady over there that my son is refusing. So immediately she wore a PP kit, and she took the swab, and she told you can submit both my son's swab and my saliva in ahead, and then we had to wait for the results. So after submitting, we were guided to a place where all of us were seated, and there was markings where social distancing was followed, and there was only vending machines there, nothing else to do. There were vending machines, and not everything was available in vending machines as well. So we were waiting. My test and my son's test almost came together. Around 40 minutes, we got our result. So then again we had to be in a queue to collect our results. So once the result was connected, we were given a pink card which says that the result is negative. So once that is done, we had to go to immigration, and along with the pink card, we had to go to immigration, and they had given one more custom form for us, and another form, immigration form in the flight, which was filled. So to avoid the delay and waiting, and since I was with a child and my son was telling he's tired, the lady guided us to a special queue where the process was done very fast. But there was a queue. If you're traveling without kid and all, be prepared to wait there for at least like 45 minutes in the immigration. So mine got through within 10 minutes. So there they just checked my RC card and the pink card, and they asked my negative report again. And then they cleared, they put the seal, and they asked me to go collect my bags. So after this, since all this procedure took around 2.5 hours, the bags were already removed from the belt and kept. So, but it was not arranged according to your names, it was just kept. So I had to go and collect all the bags, and then I was asked to go to customs, and customs was very smooth.
So after completing the immigration process, so how you reached to your home, how you traveled back to home?
So I had informed my husband that I'll be coming on the so-and-so flight. So he had booked a car for us to pick me up. And they had asked me during the process, how am I traveling back to my home? So I told them that we're traveling via car and we're not using any public transportation.
How was your experience during the quarantine? Did you get any support from the ward office or the government from Japan?
So after I reached home, every day I was reporting in line. There was they had given me a QR code. I had to scan it and accordingly answer the questions. So every day I was doing that. But along with that, they had given me one paper stating if I have any issues, if I develop any symptoms, which number has to be contacted, or if anything, if I face any problem, what has to be done. And every day I used to get a call from number, and they used to tell something in Japanese. It was an automated call. So I used to not understand anything. Like for 2 days, I tried to understand, but I did not understand. And there was no fixed time for the call for me to take support from any Japanese friend. So I was just waiting for them to call me back and check. And I think third day I got a call from ward office stating I was not responding to the automated call. So I explained them that I don't understand so much Japanese, so I don't know what to tell. Then they told me that they will call me every day to check on my health, and I had to just answer them. So every day morning I get a call asking whether me and my son are fine, and if I have any doubts, and I could ask them. So they also told me that I can go for a walk or I can go to visit park But wherever I'm going, I have to wear mask. And I was not allowed to use any public transportation. I could go to any combini to buy any essential items, but unnecessary travel and unnecessary movement was restricted. So I was just traveling. I went to walk in the night, and our friends over here helped us a lot getting all the things for us.
So if you are planning to have a quarantine in Japan, so please contact your ward office, get all the rules and regulations of your prefecture, because these rules get changed based on your prefecture. Since the quarantine period is 14 days, so what are the things that you suggest the person should keep in prior? One of the spouse is in Japan, he can keep it before start of the quarantine period, so that you don't have to travel unnecessarily out of your house to the convenience store or any public place.
So since my husband was here before I traveled, so I told him like to get all the essentials, especially for my son, like all the milk, juices and buns, ready to eat foods, so that immediately we'll whatever is available I can give him. And also some warm wear, because winter wear, because we were coming from Bangalore, which is not so cold. So even he got some winter wear and kept it at home. And also lots of toys, because the kid is not allowed to go out. So lots of toys was kept at home. And anything emergency, we were calling our friends to get it for us, because we wanted to travel unnecessary traveling or visiting combini. But yeah, and also since we are Indians, we need some Indian items, which was already we had ordered beforehand, like rice and dal and all. And vegetables, since we cannot get it and keep it beforehand, we asked our friends to get it in a weekend. Some essentials, first aid kits and all was kept ready, just in case, because we cannot go out.
Traveling to Japan for the first time, just to let you know that there are many online grocery stores. So all the Indian grocery that you want to use, you can order online. They will keep it outside. They will not have a contact with you, and they will deliver it outside your house, and you can have it without having any contact with them. So thank you for joining us and sharing your experience with us and with the whole Indian family in Japan, and also with the family in our India who are planning to come to Japan. So this information will be very helpful to all the Indians.
And thank you for letting me share the information. I'm sure it will help a lot of us, because even I was apprehensive before I traveled. So I'm sure it will help a lot of people who want to travel to India.
In case you want to get more such videos and information, do let us know in comments what kind of a video you want to watch. And please subscribe to our channel so that you get notification of all the latest video that we share with you all. Thank you for watching this video.